Good. All right, hey, shalom, shalom. All right, we the brothers here from the Great Millstone Atlanta Camp, coming back with a quick live stream through the Spirit. Before we get started, of course, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakadash. All right, also double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, salutations, many blessings to the elect of Israel, scattered around the four corners of the earth, that's given all diligence to make their calling of election sure. Shalom to you and also your families. All right. This lesson is going to be entitled something along the lines of there is no justice with the wicked. Okay, and we putting this message out here due to the fact that we have all of these different various protests going on around the world centered around Black Lives Matter or justice for so-called black people by the mistreatment of the police department. All right. Well, we here to say through the Spirit that there is no righteousness in the so-called white race, okay? And with the police department being a faction of their system, don't expect to receive justice from a system that is set up to be corrupt, okay? Now, when you go into the word justice, the Hebrew word for justice or just is tazadak. And the word tazadak also it means righteous. So in order to get justice, or to be just, you must come from the seed of righteousness. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. So what you see is you see protests and you see riots and you see majority of our people begging and pleading the so-called white race to understand their plight, but it's not going anywhere. You're not going to get any results. And we're living in 2020. You would think that the message would have got across now, but it hasn't because of the simple fact that they are an unjust nation. They are an unjust nation of people. You can't cry and beg and plead and kneel enough to get them to understand what righteousness is. It's not in them. Okay? And that's where our people are going off at. And 2/3 going to do it anyway. Okay? We're not making the case for 2/3. All right? 2/3 is already predestined to be destroyed. Okay? But we're saying that it's a lot of members, or it may be some members of the elect that's getting caught up into this madness. Okay? You can't be going around looking for justice from a crooked nation. You can't go and try to get an upright judgment from a nation that's not upright. All right? You crying and you pleading and you busting up your knees trying to show solidarity and be unified, but at the same time the so-called white man don't give a fuck. Excuse my language. Okay? And you're gonna find out real soon that his agenda is to destroy us. All right, so let's start with that Habakkuk chapter 2, and we'll just get right to the point.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him."
Yeah, what does it mean when it says that his soul which is lifted up? It means that he's lifted up with pride. Okay, the so-called white race is pride, man. They come from the nation of Edom. Okay. They have pride. They have a pride strand in their DNA, in their lineage, that makes them think that they're above all races. Okay, but it says what? But it says, but his soul that is in him is not upright. Okay, and that's talking about the spirit. He comes from that corrupt seed, man, the seed of Cain. All right, that was preserved through Esau. All right. That's that seed of Cain that was preserved through Edom, man. All right? And he's just playing out his purpose on the planet Earth, and he's blinding the masses of people, okay, by some people thinking that there is a glimpse of hope or a glimpse of light within his nation.
Yep.
There is none. Okay? And we've been saying this for years and for years and for years, that the so-called white man, you're not going to receive a proper or a balanced judgment from him. Okay, you steal a bag of chips, you're getting 25 to the door.
Yeah.
Because he's not upright. But yet and still they keep to kill and murder and do all these different things, okay, because they of the wicked. Get Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 4.
This is Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 4. It says, "Therefore the law is slack, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceedeth."
Yeah, so when you read these scriptures now, you need to identify who the wicked is. It says the wicked doth compass the righteous. A lot of people think that, oh, the wicked is it could be anybody. It could be a Chinese man, a black man. Yeah, that's true. But who is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan working on the planet Earth? He works predominantly through the white race.
That's right.
All right. Now, everybody else that's performing wicked acts on the planet Earth, that's because you're seduced.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just, matter of fact, hey, get that scripture.
First Maccabees.
Proverbs.
Or 29.
Proverbs 12 and 16. I think.
Okay.
Proverbs 12 and 16, because you got to understand that there is a battle between two spirits. One spirit is just, one spirit is wicked. Okay, but the wicked is seducing the just, and now the just is doing wicked things, but that doesn't mean that they come from that wicked line. They're just seduced by wickedness. You got that scripture?
John, I'll start at verse 15.
Go ahead.
It's Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 15. It says, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise.
Go ahead.
A fool's wrath is...
Try 12 and 26. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, Proverbs 12, 26.
Proverbs 12 and 26. It says, the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them.
You see that? So it says the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked is seduceth them. So you have the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native and Seminole Indians that's seduced by the poison of the so-called white man, and they can't see clearly that he's the devil because they're under a state of seduction. All right. So now what they're doing is they're looking for any glimpse of light, any glimpse of hope in this man, and they're begging him, and they're pleading him, and they're protesting with signs peacefully. They're not trying to be violent. They're not trying to do anything but beg and plead the so-called white man to see what he's doing is wrong. And he'll never be able to see it because in his own eyes, he's right.
Yep.
Okay? And he is of the wicked. He has no feelings for you. He has no emotions. Stop crying and trying to seek justice and peace from a race of people that was designated and ordained to be wicked. It's simple. You know?
Yeah, I got a quick one. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 15. It says, that which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. You know, so it says that which is crooked cannot be made straight. You can't try to bend the so-called white man to righteousness, man, because it's not going to work. You know, for instance, even with, you know, these 4 police officers, you know, getting locked up, so to speak, for the murder of George Floyd. There's so many other cases, you know, that's happening where these guys got off, man.
Oh yeah.
You know, you got Emmett Till. You know, you had the Rodney King case.
George Zimmerman.
Yeah, you had George Zimmerman.
He roaming the streets just being a straight criminal.
Exactly. You know, so you can't run to a justice system, and we say this all the time. You can't run to a justice system that wasn't even created for you, man. It's created against you, man. You know, and that's what our people are doing instead of running to the true power, which is who? Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. That's who we are supposed to be running to, man. You know? Yep,
because that evil seed was sown in his DNA.
Yep.
So he performs the deeds of the wicked. Okay? That's why he does the thing he does. And you can see it in his face, like, man, this man's wicked as hell, man.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they you know, because they're under that seduction, because our people love, you know, to be able to go to the malls, and they love to be able to go to the movies. They love to be able to go out and eat and have a good dinner with their family. They love to be able to go on vacations and resorts and travel and you know, do these things. So they know that if they fully expose and come up against this so-called white man, then all of that is going to stop. Okay? So what they want to do is they just want to go and tap on his shoulder and say, Mr. White Man, can you please stop? We don't want no problems with you no more. We just want to be your friend. Please stop bullying us, please. And he's still knocking you across your cheek.
Yep.
Okay? Because you haven't took a stance, man. You haven't took a stance to the system of oppression. Okay? You taking a knee to it. The scriptures say that in Ezekiel the 37th chapter, it said that they stood on their feet. Okay? The bones and the sinews, and they stood upon their feet. They didn't say they took a knee. All right? We're not taking a knee, and we're not bowing to the wicked.
They say they brought them up out of the graves.
Yeah, so they brought them up out the grave, man. And taking a knee, that's symbolic of submission. Okay? That's symbolic of submitting to somebody, man.
Yeah.
Hey, matter of fact, you got something?
Yeah, I just had the encounter first Mac.
Hold that real quick. Get that scripture in Revelation 11 and 11. All right? Because we're not taking a knee to social injustice. We're not taking a knee to criminal reform. We're not taking a knee to, Jake being put to death in the streets to get people to understand us. We're performing the will of our power, Yahweh Bashim Shai. That's what we're here to do. All right? We're here to prophesy unto the nations the coming destruction of America and the uprising of our people, the righteous of our people, the elect, the 144,000, the 1/3, the peaceful multitude. We're not here to take a knee before police officers.
Because Esau not go loosen up on us, man.
Yeah.
They gonna keep murdering Jake out in the streets, cold blooded.
Right.
No matter what you do about it, because just going back to Revelation 12:12, it says what? That they gonna come down on you having great wrath, man, because they know that they have a short time.
Yep.
It don't say they gonna loosen up on you because you out looting and protesting and writing shit on cardboard. It don't say that, man.
That's right.
So this is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 11. It says, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them.
That's talking about the elect. That three days and a half represent that 350-year period. Go ahead.
It says, and they stood upon their feet.
They did what?
And they stood upon their feet.
It don't say nothing about taking a knee, man. Okay? And a moment of silence for 8 minutes and 42 seconds. Scriptures don't say anything about that. The scriptures say that he gave us the spirit of life into us. All right? And then we stood upon our feet. That's why we separate ourselves from any of these so-called gatherings and protests. Because they're not coming in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shai. They coming in the spirit of their own will. They're coming in the spirit of oppression. Okay? That's what they coming in the spirit of. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Y'all ain't did nothing to the wicked.
Right.
Y'all ain't exposed to so-called white men. Then you got so-called white people marching with you.
Right.
You got Edomites marching with you. You got LGBT people marching with you.
And then the protest is supposed to be against police brutality. Then you got police. You hold hand in hand with the police.
Right.
Kneeling with the police. Like, what is
crying, hugging them.
Yeah.
Yelling.
And meanwhile, they still whooping up on your ass.
Yeah, they've been beating y'all's ass throughout the whole protest. And you still screaming and hollering. Jake, one thing about it, two things for sure. Yahweh Bashim Shai, he's just getting started with you, man. He's just getting started with you. Okay? He's just getting started with you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native and Seminole Indians, man. Okay? Due to the level of rebelliousness, due to the level of simplicity, due to the level of seduction that you're under, the Lord is going to show you them horns, man. You're going to know it, man. You're going to know he's the devil as well as he's going to know that we're the righteous. Okay? It's coming to a full head. We in them times. Go ahead.
It says, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Yeah. And that's going into, these Edomites, these other nations that see us prophesying, because we know they watch. They see us out prophesying. They see us teaching his word. All right. They see us, on the highways and byways. Okay, so I can. And it says great fear fell upon them because they understand that this is biblical prophecy taking place before their eyes. This is the sign of the prophets. All right? And we're standing upon our feet. What does that mean? That means that we're taking a stance through the Spirit. That means we woke up. We have stability.
Yeah.
All right? We have confidence. When you stand on your feet, that means you alert. You woke. You stable because you're standing up. That means you got stability. You got balance. Okay? And you have a level of power when you're on your feet.
Yeah.
So that's what that represents, man. Having this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding and teaching it in these times, man. And it says great fear fell upon them. So we not out there to go out there and beg and plead the so-called white man to hear what we got. We don't care if you listen to us or not.
We're giving you your judgment.
Yeah, that's all we're doing. We're just telling you what's getting ready to happen to you. We're not out there to get you to hear us, get you to understand and believe. No.
Come to an agreement.
Yeah, come to an agreement and beg you to stop doing what you're. We don't know. That's not why we're out there. That's why they're out there. That's not why we're out there. We're out there to tell you what's getting ready to happen to you according to the scriptures. And we're going to tell you what you're going to do also.
Yeah. If I can just make a quick point, and I get that to the scripture.
Yep.
But that's why, this whole Black Lives Matter thing is failing you, because it's against the scripture. The Lord is against Black Lives Matter. The Lord is going to put 2/3 of you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans to death. We pushing for, when we go out to the highways and byways, we're pushing for the elect. We're not pushing for all of Israel, because why? We're going to what Romans 9:9 says. What? All Israel is not of Israel, man.
That's right.
Black Lives Matter is counterproductive, man.
That's right. I got a quick precept.
Yeah.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Yep. And if I can say, when you go into the scriptures, you understand that the so-called white man and these other heathen nations are our enemies. Since when you read the book of Genesis, from Jacob and Esau fighting in the womb, man, they've been our enemies, man.
From Cain.
Yeah, Cain and Abel. They've been our enemies, man. So what makes you think that looting a ice jewelry store or going out to your local cities and protesting in 2020 and thinking that he's going to change his mind from being your enemy, man?
That's right.
Never trust him.
It says, though he humbleth himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
Oh, it says that he go crouching. We made the statement about how these police officers kneeling, kneeling with Jake and whoever out in the streets. They still whooping up on you, man.
Yeah.
Showing you that no matter what you do or no matter what I do, hey, I'm still going to be against you, man.
Yep. It says, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. That's what happened to Jake. Okay, you want to be all up under the so-called white man. You want to adopt his policies, his customs, his traditions, his languages, his way of life, and then when he comes down on you, you looking puzzled. Well, you've integrated yourself with a race of people that has a track record of evil. Okay? They established this country by the blood of the Native American Seminole Indians, Aztec, Issachar. All right? All the other tribes down throughout Central and South America. Okay? Then they brought the Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians over to the Western Hemisphere and destroyed them and beat them to sleep. Okay? And then you integrate yourself with a system that's evil as hell.
Evil.
Tattoos all in your face, man. Smoking all kind of drugs and taking all kind of drugs, listening to all kind of left-hand witchcraft music. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping with your brother's woman. And then you wonder, you think that just because the so-called white man killed a black man, okay, that's all that he's done. He's done way more than that, man.
Right.
He's integrated you with Satan.
He's integrated you to not even know your true heritage, to not even know who you are.
Yeah, He's integrated you with the lifestyle of Satan, man.
Mm-hmm.
You eat the things that the scriptures tell us not to eat. You covet, you rob, you steal, you kill. Okay? You do all of the things in the scriptures that it tells you not to do, and you just want to just say, stop killing us. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that you could be complaining to Yahweh Bashim Shai about based on what this so-called white race has done, man. Mm-hmm. But because you don't know the scriptures, you don't know right from wrong, man. You just want the white man to just leave you alone so you can be wicked. And the Lord is not going to do that. You know? The Lord is the so-called white man is about to really step up his military might, his military presence. He's about to step up his aggression. All right, he's not going to have any remorse, any pity for the old or young. Okay? He's not going to care. And the Lord is going to give him that spirit, a cold heart, man. Okay? Mm-hmm. And that's why the scriptures say what it says, man, which y'all get it. Okay? I'm going to keep reading it here. This is verse 13. Well, matter of fact, it says, set him not by, this verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
That if I could say, that's against equality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it says, let not him sit at thy right hand. You know, and what Jake out here pushing to be equal to the so-called white man.
Yep, he letting the so-called white man sit at his right hand.
Mm-hmm.
You letting the devil tell you what's right and what's wrong. All right, which that's a no-no. Okay, you got to let Yahweh Bashim Shai sit at your right hand, because he has the judgments of the world. Okay, these are the judgments of the planet Earth. So you have to let the Lord sit at your right hand, and he has to guide you through this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The so-called white man should be the last one to tell anybody what's right and wrong in society. Okay? They tell you that it's okay to have a homosexual orgy, all right, but it's wrong to have 2 or 3 wives.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He needs to be the last one to tell you what's right and what's wrong, man. Okay? That's determined by Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right? Let me keep going here. It's verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? We don't cry and get all up in arms and emotional when we see these things happening to our people. You know why? Because you've integrated yourself with his lifestyle, and that's what his lifestyle brings. It brings disparity, it brings anguish, it brings death. All right? But when you integrate yourself with the scriptures, with the spirit of the Lord, it brings what? Life, peace. That's spirit. You know? Yeah. Life, peace. It brings justice. It brings understanding. Yeah. It brings patience and faith. Righteousness. So therefore, you're not moved by events that's happening around the world, because you can filter them now through righteousness.
All right. Just to add to your point, because you said we're not really emotionally bothered by events happening to the world. Why? Because we separate ourselves from the world.
That's right. That's right.
You know, we're not together or united with the wickedness of this world. We're in our own world, our own cosmos, man. Mm-hmm. You know, with the Lord willing, we be a part of that number with the elect, man. Mm-hmm. You know.
That's right, bro. Let me get this last precept, then you got it. It says, so one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? For a while he will abide with thee. But if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. Mm-hmm. An enemy speak.
That's Drew Brees.
yeah, Drew Brees.
Look, Jake been out rooting for Drew Brees. You know, and you know
who that?
Who that nation. Well, meanwhile, he basically kicking you while you down, man. You know. And that's really the so-called white man is and the more as we go, you know, in these times, he's revealing who he really is, man. He's not for you, man. He's not. It never trusts thine enemy. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yep. I got one real quick. Sirach 5:13. Separate thyself from thine enemies, and take heed of thy friends.
Yeah, that's plain and simple, man. You know. this is the scriptures is instruction, man. You know, it gives you the instructions to life on how to move, how to walk. When you read Proverbs, what was that, 4:14? It says, "No, go not into the path of evil men."
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know. So these are the things these are the things that we carry ourselves about for, man, or how, you know, with the scriptures, man. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This Sirach 19:25. There is an exquisite subtlety. See, the so-called white man is exquisitely subtle. Matter of fact, get Genesis 3:15.
Yeah.
The so-called white man is the serpent, that old dragon, the devil. All right, and written of in the book of Revelations, which, you know, he also has the same characteristics of the serpent in the garden, which was that wicked man. And let's get the same characteristic. All right, get that in Genesis 3.
This is Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15. It says, "And I will put enmity."
No, matter of fact, start at 1. Salaki. Genesis 3:1.
It's Genesis 3:1. It says, "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord power had made."
You see that? It says the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field that the Lord made. And this is talking about the wickedness of that man. He's very, very subtle. All right? So let's go back to Sirach. Sirach 19:25. There is an exquisite subtlety, and the same is unjust. You see that?
Yeah.
So you gotta beware of this devil, man. He walk around smiling, he'll take a knee with you, and he'll put a hashtag of BLM, Black Lives Matter, but inwardly he hates you, he despises you.
Yeah.
Okay? He can't stand you. He can't wait, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of you people don't understand it.
Yeah.
Race is not about it. It ain't about race. It ain't about you know. And you have no idea the type of man you're dealing with.
Hey, the scriptures, when you read Revelation, the 6th chapter, it says that the sword was given to him to take peace from the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing that you can do to change how the so-called white man is, because this is how the Lord wrote it out, man.
Mm-hmm. That's
You know?
right. It says, and there is one that turneth aside to make judgment appear, and there is a wise man that justifieth in judgment. Yeah, we see the reason why George Floyd got killed, because he was restrained. He had cocaine in the system. All right, he's just a black big nose nigger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just gonna do any and everything to justify themselves and why they do things.
Yeah.
Because you know why they do that? Because inwardly they know that they're wicked.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they always justify the things that they do. But you so-called Negroes don't see it. You don't understand it. And you're allowing their poison and their venom and their subtlety to deceive you.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking that they're the wicked. So what you do? You begin to beg, you begin to plead. I can see it in you. You can't see nothing in the so-called white. Because it ain't there.
Right.
It's not there. Okay? I'm going to finish off then. You got it. All right, it says, this is verse 26. There is a wicked man that hangeth down his head sadly, but inwardly he is full of deceit, casting down his countenance. Yeah, so now all of a sudden you got Jeff Bezos, and you got all these different corporations that's donating to criminal reform and criminal justice. You got you know, all these different people that so-called speaking out against it now. All right, you know, the mayors and the different judicial Nike and all, you know, everybody posting up black pictures on, you know, Blackout Tuesday. They said there's an exquisite subtlety, man. He's exquisitely deceitful, man. He's very exquisite with it, man. And it says even though he hang his head sadly, man. That's what the so-called white man is doing right now. All right. It says, what did it say here? It says, casting down his countenance and making himself Salakia, and making as if he heard not. Where he is not known, he will do thee a mischief before thou be aware. And if for want of power he be hindered from sinning, yet when he findeth opportunity, he will do evil. So you think that, you know, these so-called white people that's quote unquote speaking up on the behalf of the so-called black people, you think that they for the cause and you can invite them to the barbecue. Okay? But no, when shit start hitting the fan and power begins to be taken from them and all out warfare and anarchy is going on out here, what you think the so-called white man is doing? You think he gonna be in the middle of the streets saying Black Lives Matter, or you think he gonna up and bear arms and come up against you and your family? Mm-hmm. This is what you don't understand about this race of people, man. That the Lord is gonna get across to you real quick.
That's right. I'll bring that one out. It's Isaiah. Mm-hmm. It's Isaiah chapter 48 and verse 22. It says, "There is no peace, saith the Lord, unto the wicked."
Yeah, there's no peace to them. Okay, there's no peace to them. All right, it's prophesied to the so-called white man that his destruction is not. His destruction draweth not. All right, so there's no peace to him. There's no equality, anything to him. There's straight destruction, slavery, pain, anguish, tribulation, headache, full-fledged to his direction. And if you join hand in hand with him, you're going to be punished with him too. That's right. So you better get out of Dodge, man.
That's Isaiah 30.
No, Isaiah 13.
Warn to them that go down to Egypt.
Oh, yeah, that's Isaiah 30, yeah. There's another one, Isaiah 13, that said, though hand join in hand, they shall be thrust through with the sword. Roughly paraphrasing. So there's no peace to the wicked, man. We ain't out there saying, hey, Esau, you'll be all right, man. You're going to be all right, man. I'm saying, you just did wrong, man, but you'll be, nah, bro. We telling you, you get ready to go into slavery. Your country get ready to be destroyed. You about to be taken in chains and shackles. The kings of the earth are the Israelites, the 144,000, the elect. Okay, and the Lord is coming back to deliver us, and He's coming back to take down your whole power structure. That's right. We're not saying it's peace to you. We're not taking the knee and begging and pleading and crying and beseeching you to understand our disparity. You ain't gonna get it. So now you're gonna have to learn it by what? By going through the same things that you've done to us.
That's right.
You got it, bro. You have any more?
I just had that count in Maccabees.
Yeah, we can finish. Yeah, we can finish up on that.
So this is the first Maccabees chapter 1, and I'll start at verse 41. It says, "Moreover, King Antiochus wrote unto his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and to the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings, and sacrifice, and drink offerings in the temple, and they should profane the Sabbaths and the festival days." So King Antiochus basically commanded the Israelites to go against the law, statutes, and commandments that the Lord set up for us. Which, when you fast forward thousands of years, this is the same thing that we're going through now. By what the white man say that the Christians say that the Sabbath is what every Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Yep. They tell you to worship Jesus Christ. They send up swan as burnt offerings. Yep. The same thing is happening, man.
And you had to consent to the law of the king. Now what they're trying to do now? They're trying to microchip you and vaccinate you, man. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Against what the scriptures say. So this so-called white man, he's directly transgressing against the ordinances of the Most High. You got it, bro.
It says, verse 46, "And pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all matter of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change the ordinances."
That's what they did. So our people then forgot where they come from. They forgot the laws of the scriptures, and they consent to the laws of a place that was established through injustice. And then they want to seek justice from a place that was established through blood. It's impossible. Okay? It's naturally impossible, man. Okay? The scriptures say, woe to a town that is established by blood. Matter of fact, I think I know what that said. Yep. Well, that's a good one, but I think that one is in Zechariah 2 or Zephaniah 2. Let me pull that real quick. The scripture said. It's probably Zechariah 2 and 10 maybe. Let me see. Do a search on that.
Okay.
Type in town and blood. It might be in the law. I can't remember.
Habakkuk 2
Yeah,
and 12.
that's what it is. Habakkuk 2 and 12. Yeah, I'm gonna get. Matter of fact, you can read it.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 12. It says, woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establisheth a city by iniquity.
Hey, that's a so-called white man. It says, woe unto you. So why then, if this town was established by blood and iniquity, then why then beg the establishers for justice when it was established off injustice? That means that the fruit of this kingdom is going to be filled with injustices. And you're going to continue to try to align yourselves with this system and be let down. Okay? Meanwhile, the Lord is telling you, come back, repent. Keep his law, statutes, and commandments, follow the righteous way, and you don't want to do that. But you rather go jump hoops and hurdles and be in the system of the so-called white man. This is easy. It's easy to follow the Lord, man.
Okay.
You know, grow your beard, stop eating, you know, but it's all through predestination. The Lord blinded a lot of you. You know? So yeah, you're not going to get justice from a nation of people that was created to be the wicked, man. All right? It's impossible. And ultimately, you know, the Lord is bringing them into judgment. He's not going to reserve the judgment of the so-called white man, which are the Edomites, just because, you know, you want to try to beg and pardon them to stop. The Lord is going to bring this judgment in, man. He has a lot of things that he needs to pay for, and from different kingdoms, different lives, lifetimes, and incarnations that the Lord is going to bring into judgment. And just because you're out there protesting and kneeling and crying and begging them to stop, doesn't mean that the Lord is not going to bring them into judgment. All right? So with that, we're going to give all praises, all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakar. Also double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace, salutations, many blessings to the elect scattered around the four corners of the earth. Shalom to the men, women, and children. Shalom.
Shalom.